Something that you might experience during childbirth is your surges or your contractions stopping for a while. And this sounds like it'd be pretty frustrating, and it is, but it's actually pretty common. So, let's say you've been birthing for a few hours and the surges are getting, stronger and longer. And then, for example, like say you're at home and like your surges are getting stronger and you're like, all right, I'm ready to go to the hospital or the birth center. And then you get in the car and you go to the hospital and you check in and you're doing like all this stuff before you get to the labor and delivery room. And by the time you get to the labor and delivery room, your surges might have like really spaced out or stopped altogether. This is pretty common when, we kind of get out of the rhythm with our birth, when we're having to do all this other stuff. And this can also happen sometimes after you go through transition. These are the few really, really strong surges that get you to 10 centimeters fully dilated. Sometimes the body's just so wiped out after that the surges stop for a while just to allow you to rest. So don't be alarmed if this happens during your birth. It does not mean that you have to get Pitocin or that you need any intervention immediately. One of the best ways to get labor going again is nipple stimulation, because nipple stimulation triggers your body to release oxytocin, and oxytocin is the hormone that stimulates surges. So that's one of the most direct ways to get labor to start again. Sometimes, as I mentioned about about surges stopping after the transition, sometimes your body just needs to rest. So if your surges stop and you realize that you are just totally exhausted, or that you're starving, or that you have some basic need that isn't being met, meet those basic needs. And more often than not, once those basic needs are met, your body's like, all right, I have what I need to continue labor. So resting, eating, taking care of those needs, doing nipple stimulation, walking around a little bit, that can also help to get things going. Those are all natural ways that can encourage labor to start again. And, if that happens, and the care provider is like, all right, well, let's just get it going with some Pitocin. If you feel like, I really don't want Pitocin yet, if you and the baby are healthy, I would really encourage you to ask them to just give you time to say, before we try that, I just want to rest. I want to do my nipple stimulation. I just want to try to do this naturally. And then, of course, if it's still not starting, you're feeling frustrated, and you're really feeling ready to get things going again, Pitocin can totally be an option. One nice thing about Pitocin is they can take you off of it. So it's not like once you start it, you have to be on it forever. They can start you on it. And then if you really feel like, yep, things seem to be going great, then they can kind of like taper you off and see if the surges continue on their own. And a lot of times they do. So I encourage you to try that. Nipple stimulation, rest, just taking care of yourself. If labor slows, knowing that it does not mean that you need a C-section or that you have to get labor interventions, knowing that it is a pretty normal part of the process for a lot of women. All right, if you have any questions about this or anything else about pregnancy, childbirth, or early motherhood, let me know in the comments below.